I want to show you my new 2025 Vexus VXS20. This thing is beautiful. I absolutely love this. You know, when Vexuses first came out, they were a little bit higher sided. They've changed to their S model now, which is a little bit more traditional bass look. But I mean, if you just look at this thing, I mean, I think I did the colors just perfect on it. You know, it matches the Mercury engine. But man, these Vexuses are so nice. There are so many little tiny creature comfort things with these things that just absolutely blows me away. We'll walk around the whole boat, but one of the things that like you notice right away is these seats set up a little higher. They actually have air ride seats in them, so we'll see that here in a minute when we get inside the boat. We got these handrails on here, but one of the things that like the first one of these I ever saw was just the attention to detail. I mean, everything on these boats is just put together just meticulously. There's nothing out of place. Every little, you know, every place where everything meets is just perfect. And just like high-end gauges and even your switch panels and stuff is just like really high-end stuff. I mean, it's just absolutely sweet how they put these things together. A lot of them, they're integrating this different, it's like a sea deck kind of stuff instead of carpet in places where it just makes sense, you know, and that's one of the things that I really like about it. The windshield's pretty cool too. I don't know if that's actually carbon fiber or not, but it looks like it's carbon fiber. And you know what? Carbon fiber is just cool, even if it is or isn't really carbon fiber, but I really like it. Move up here to the bow. I mean, it is a super wide bow. I mean, you know, I'm a big guy. Normally I get 21 footers, but this is a 20. But there is plenty of room up here for two guys. I fished out of it a couple times now, and just absolutely plenty enough room. Kind of cool that that your boat buckle, your rod straps are down in the deck instead of on the side. Just getting ready to mount my power pole stomp buttons in my anchor mode and my heading hold button. Look at this, like the trim switches. I mean, look how just like the attention to detail, and look how like, that's just not some little, you know, switch. I mean, it's a really beefy little deal here. Got some more of that decking up on top. So the nose of the Vexus is a little bit different. You'll see it kind of flares out here on both sides. But what Vexus did, when they did that, that allows them to be able to have that really wide front deck. Of course, I got the dual HDS Pro 12s on a Bass Boat Technologies hood mount, which this whole thing, just by taking 4 bolts out, this whole thing rocks up. And if you ever want to get in here and you have to, you know, mess around and check for a, you know, a power source, or you want to add a new accessory, you know, with all the stuff that we put on these bass boats now, it's super awesome to be able to just in 4 bolts be able to be down in there to your wiring instead of having to take all this stuff off. 4 bolts and you're down in there. Power pole move trolling motor. I cannot say enough about a power pole move. These things are absolutely phenomenal. It is not only the quietest motor, you know, this part, like when you're actually hitting the button and you're going, but what's also super quiet is this. This is what turns the motor. You know, it's a wire feed, so it's not, you know, it doesn't have cables that you're actually turning it. It's done by wire, and this thing is all but completely silent. It is so much quieter than any other trolling motor on the market. It's unbelievable. Got my little C-stick thing on here, so my active target too, my forward-facing sonar, I can see real easy which way it's pointing. The storage in these things, I mean, the rod lockers are huge, the center locker's huge. You know, you got the little day box over there. We'll jump up in the boat here in a minute and check that out. Of course, you know, recessed trolling motor foot pedal. I mean, that's one of those deals that, you know, everybody's got to have that. It's just so much easier on your legs. And you've even got a cup holder up there in the front too, which comes in handy sometimes when you need to hydrate yourself. So one of the things that's really different about a Vexus is not only where you put the gas in the boat, because you'll notice most boats have it back here a lot further, but where the gas actually goes. So the gas tank in a Vexus is mounted in the bottom of the V, right down through the center of the boat right here. And you've always heard, ever since Vexus came out, whether it's their big multi-species boats, whether it's their bass boats, or whether it's their aluminum boats, how good Vexuses ride. They just ride so good. Well, one of the reasons why these boats ride so well is that placement of that gas tank and all that weight being down in the V Like it's a long, skinny gas tank that's down in the V part, so that puts that weight in the bottom of the boat and allows that boat to be able to go through waves so much better. So that's a big deal about the Vexus and where the gas goes in it. So you know, Vexus makes their own trailers too. So you know you're not getting a second-rate trailer from someplace that they're just buying them from. So when they make them themselves, they can do everything they want to do to make the perfect trailer. One of the things I really like, not only does it have four-wheel disc brakes, but it has really high-performance brakes. You can look in there, see the brake calipers. It's got high-performance calipers on it. Obviously, cool-looking wheels, because who doesn't have to have cool-looking wheels, right? I know I like them. But good tires. It's got fiberglass fenders on it. You know, it's coated in a really, really super heavy duty coating, so you're not going to get a lot of road rash on it. Comes with these steps that make it so much easier to get in and out of the boat. And they actually pop up, and you can rotate these in to make them much smaller. So if you're parking in a really small area, it rotates in. I got a pretty good sized place, so I kind of leave them out like that. But you can see the finish on this thing. I mean, it's really, really tough finish on these. But one of the coolest things that I like about the Vexus trailer, no more looking for wheel chucks when you go places, because check this out right here. This is an emergency brake. All you got to do is slam it down. You're stopped. No more looking for wheel chucks. It's one of the easiest things there is to use, is that right there. Some Vexuses even come with, if you see this right here, this dog underneath here, some Vexuses even come with a dog. Mine did. It's sitting right there. Luna, say hi. Luna, come here. See? Vexuses come with awesome dogs. That's not true. I just made that up. All right, coming here to the back. You guys know me. Mercury Pro XS 4-stroke 250. Favorite motor there ever was. Got to have it. Got the Atlas, a 10-inch Atlas from TH Marine, 10-inch jack plate on it. Obviously power jack plate, so you can move it up and down. 10-foot power pole blades. I don't know why anybody would get, I don't know why anybody would get 8s. I really don't. Like, I want to be able to stop in as deep a water as I can possibly stop in, so I get these. One of the cool things that Vexus does, check this out. There is no more putting a bracket on your jack plate. Vexus actually makes, inside the boat, they actually put a bracket inside the boat for the power poles. So when you put the power poles on, there's no more flexing and all that stuff. And that's what wears out these bushings and stuff. And the power pole is that plate, that mounting plate that most boats use. It flexes, and as you're going down the road and going down the lake, the power poles move. So Vexus, they put them right on the back of the boat. No more of that. Got, like I said, the Pro XS. This is so the dog doesn't get hurt when it gets the zoomies and goes running by. Fury 23 Fury 23, that's the prop that we run. Works awesome on this boat. Jumps up on plane, good top end speed, keeps traction. So now that we've jumped up in the boat, I want to show you some of the cool features of it. One, you have like an extra little drawer down here that you can put all kind of stuff. I got, you name it, got my scale, my culling stuff. You know, everything that you could think of putting in there, I got that in there. I've used this as the trash can. As you can see, somebody had some Gatorade and some Doritos yesterday. Must have been a good day. This giant center console, right? It's not a giant center console. But if you look inside this thing, that is a giant cooler. And when I saw this, I was like, well, that's kind of an odd place to put a cooler. No, it's actually not an odd place to put a cooler, because when I'm fishing, honestly, whether it's cool out or it's really, really hot, and obviously when it's really, really hot, I do it all the time. But every time I sit down here, fire that Mercury up, boom, and I move spots, I want to get a drink. Now all I got to do is go like this and just reach in here and get a drink. It's so much easier. Most boats have the cooler up there in the step. Well, then you got to try to get up here and get like this, and it's just a pain in the butt. Like, this is something I use all the time. Like in my other boats that I've had, you know, I had my scale in here and my registration and all that kind of stuff. The stuff that you don't use all the time, but you use the cooler constantly. So it's just, that's so much better of a deal right there. You can see what I'm sitting on. These are the Airwave pedestal seats. So there's actually, you can pump air into them depending on how much you weigh. So you can dial in for your weight the perfect comfortable chair, the perfect cushion that you want to have. It's so perfect. So me, like, I'm a big guy, you know, weigh 250 pounds. So I'm obviously going to put a lot of air in it. You know, smaller guys might even, you know, let some air out of it from what comes in them. But so it's just the ride between the fuel tank being in the bottom, the air ride seats. It's just the riding around in this boat. You go across boat wakes, you don't even know it. It's absolutely amazing. The way all the gauges and everything are laid out, I mean, it is awesome. You know, you got your start button. I got a stereo in the boat. Speakers are hidden back behind the seats, which is really cool. Once again, all your switching and everything right here. I've got my power pole up and down on my switch, which pops out pretty easy. So that's power poles up and down, and then I can control my move trolling motor by right here. So say if I got a buddy on the front, or maybe you got a young kid or something on the front, all I have to do is get up, go up there and put the trolling motor down. Then I can sit back here and I can control the trolling motor, and I can let them stand on the front and fish if they don't even know how to use the trolling motor. I can do it from right here. And this thing is battery powered, and when it pops into this little cradle right here, it's getting charged. So anytime it's in that cradle, it's getting charged all the time. So that works out absolutely fantastic. Your live well controls are down here. And Vexus even have something on their live well where if you're gonna make a long run, there's another switch over here that'll actually overfill your live wells. So, you know, if you're gonna make a long run and the water's gonna be rough, a lot of times, you know, when you get to your spot, half the water in your live well's gone. Well, not in a Vexus. You turn it from normal height to full height on this switch, and your live well will stay up much, much higher. Speaking of the live well, check this out. So you've got one big lid, and then you've got two clear lids on each side to get in there. So if you're fishing tournaments where you have a co-angler, you know, and you don't want to lift the, you know, you don't want them messing around in your fish. Well, this way they have their very own, you have your very own. And the other cool thing about this setup is if you just want to glance on your fish, you want to check on the condition of them, you want to see, make sure they're doing good, you can open this and look in there and see them, but they can't get out. There's going to be no jailbreak. So that is awesome, because most boats, when you open the live well lid, that's what it is. You've opened the live well lid. Well, this one, you can open it up, you can look in there, you can look at the fish, and you don't ever have to worry about them getting out. So like I said, no jailbreak in the Vexus. Let's check out some of these other compartments. So like I said, this is a VXS20, so it's not the great big boat, but look how big that these compartments are in the back. They got a cool little shelf back here, plenty of room to put, you know, I got first aid kit, I got my helmet, I got my jumper cables, which I really don't need because I have a power pole charged trolling motor. But, you know, I just got everything that I might possibly need to make sure that I got a little tool chest in there, you know, just to make sure that I have a good day on the water. And then we'll go back here to the battery compartment. So I've got some life jackets in here, obviously. I've got my Optima batteries. So these are the new Optima Lithiums. They just came out with these batteries. Top end lithium batteries. I mean, they don't get any better. 150 amp hour batteries. So you are not gonna wear these things out. Move these life jackets. I'll show you my power pole charge battery management system. So that's gonna take care of everything. And the cool thing about the power pole charge, so like I said, you really don't need jumper cables. You never have to worry about that because that is its own jump box. Although it has its own jump box in it, it can actually take power from your trolling motor batteries. That's why they call it a smart charger. It can take power from your trolling motor batteries and put it into your cranking battery. And then your cranking battery can fire off the big motor and you can get back. So, but it's a whole power management system. It can move power from any of the batteries back and forth to really keep your batteries as high as they can be. And it also can use your alternator from your Mercury. It can take that power and actually charge your trolling motor batteries while you're running. And you would be astonished. I've been running power pole charges for about 3 or 4 years now. If I run a good bit during the day, I very rarely ever have to actually charge my batteries. At night, you know, you get home and you want to plug them in. I pull up the app on my phone, I look at it, and most of the time it says all 4 batteries, 100% charge. So that power pole charge, it is absolutely phenomenal. It's a piece of equipment that I will have on every single boat from here on out. I mean, it really is, to me, it's that important of a piece of equipment. All right, guys, well, that's my new 2025 Vexus VXS20. I absolutely love the thing. It is set up exactly the way I want. I am super happy with the boat, and I cannot wait to get done this video and get back in it and back on the water.